Hello everyone, this is Ibrahim Aljada. It gives me great pleasure to be your instructor on this course, showing you how to read and write Arabic for beginners. This session will be an introduction. According to Wikipedia, as of January 2020, Arabic and its different dialects are spoken by around 422 million speakers, native and non-native, in the Arab world, as well as in the Arab diaspora, meaning descendants of immigrants, making it one of the 5 most spoken languages in the world. Arabic is a language cluster comprising 30 or so modern varieties or dialects. In this introduction, I'll go over a few elements that I think are useful for you to go through the program successfully. The first element is what the course is about. This is a beginner's course. It will help create a foundation, a strong foundation that will help build your skills in how to read and write Arabic. This is not an advanced course. Don't expect to build conversation skills. There'll be no grammar. The course will take at least 28 episodes or lessons, as the Arabic alphabet is composed of 28 letters. How to succeed in this course? The first element is being persistent, meaning having a genuine and sincere desire to learn how to read and write Arabic, and possibly take it to a more advanced level. The second element is consistency, meaning you have to devote a specific time on a regular basis so that you master the course and be successful in learning how to read and write Arabic at a fundamental basis. The third and very important element is repetition and practice. We've learned from life that repetition of a certain attitude or a certain job and practicing it regularly helps promote and build neuronal pathways so that it's easier for your brain to be successful in achieving any task and implementing the outcome of that task at a high performance level. And another important element would be to divide your task into small jobs. This course is going to deal with the Arabic alphabet, as there are 28 letters, so there will be at least 28 lessons. This is an implementation of this concept. You can even take it further by dividing each lesson into smaller jobs so that it's easier for you. This is not a highly intellectual course, meaning an average intellect, which most of us do have, is good enough to pass the course and achieve a high level of performance. And if you think about it, these elements, which are persistence, consistency, repetition and practice, division of the task into smaller jobs, and an average intellect, which most of us have and can do, can basically get you through and help you reach a high level of success in even the most complex tasks in life. So what is the course format? The course format is going to be the same exact format basically in every lesson. It's going to repeat itself. This should make it easier for you to master through all the required skills to have a good strong foundation in reading and writing Arabic. I'll use the letter ba, for example, to show you a simple format that is going to be followed in almost every lesson. So at the beginning of the lesson, I'll talk about the full name of the letter, and I highly recommend memorizing the full name of each letter in the Arabic alphabet. This way you show enough respect for each letter, and this way you show seriousness into learning the Arabic alphabet. I'll give you the pronunciation of the letter at the beginning of the lesson, and I'll show you how it is written. I will then show you how the letter is emitted or articulated in your mouth. Most of the letters are shared between Arabic and English. However, some letters do exist in Arabic that do not exist in English. It might take you some time and more practice to master how to articulate and emit these letters. And it might help to show you how these letters are formed within your throat, oral cavity, and lips. I will then cover what's called short vowels in Arabic for the letter and how each vowel will look like above or below the letter and how it is pronounced. The next session will be covering the long vowels in Arabic, how they are connected to the letter, how the letter would be pronounced when it is attached to any of these long vowels. I will then talk about what is called sukoon for simplicity, described as the stop sign, how it is written, how it should look like on the letter, and how the pronunciation will be when the sukoon is on the letter. The following session will be covering what we call tanween, which has different formulas, 3 major formulas. I will show how these appear on the letter and how the letter would look like when it is presented with the different formats of tanween. I will then talk about what is called shadda and its different shapes, how each shape would look like when it is on the letter, and how the letter would be pronounced when it is presented with the shadda. This will be followed by talking about a combination of the shadda with the tanween and its different configurations, how each would look like when it is on the letter, and how the letter would be pronounced when it is presented with any of these configurations. At the end of the lesson, I'll be making words by combining different letters. At the beginning of the course, we would not have had a long list of Arabic alphabet, so I'll have limited options with minimal Arabic alphabets. So I'll create my own imaginary words, which is something possible to do, and I highly recommend that you do the same thing. You know, being creative and inventive will help you enjoy the course more. You can create your own words based on the different formulas, different vowels we talked about related to the letter, so that you can practice and become stronger. As we go along with the course, we would have covered more Arabic alphabet letters, so I'll be introducing more genuine Arabic words, and if I do that, I may give you the English meaning of that word, and the compilation of all these Arabic words throughout the course might help you understand a basic conversation when you hear two people speak Arabic. After we build up words, I'll be quizzing you on the material we've covered throughout that lesson. I would highly recommend that you follow the sequence of the lessons as is in the course, because every lesson will benefit from the previous lessons, even though you can take each lesson on its own. But it's highly recommended that you follow the sequence, because when we start building words, that will be dependent on the alphabets we've covered before. This format will repeat itself in every lesson. This way it should be easier for you to follow through and become better and get the most you could from this course. What about the tools? You can basically use any piece of paper and pen of your preference. That should be fine. I would highly recommend using lined papers or papers with horizontal lines. Arabic is basically like English when it comes to writing letters, meaning part of the letter will be above the line, part might be on the line, and part would be below the line. You could also use grid style papers which have vertical and horizontal lines and use the horizontal lines for that purpose. Other tools could be used, which are any touch screen device, whether it is an Android device or an Apple device. You could use your index finger, which should work basically on all touch screens. You could use a stylus pen, which should work on most, if not all, the screens. For me, I'm going to use an Apple Pencil 2nd generation and a 12.9 inches iPad Pro. You do not have to have these tools, but this will help me give you a better course. And if you have this combination of an Apple Pencil and an iPad plus an app that I'm going to talk about, it will help you enjoy the course more, but you don't have to have them. I am going to use Procreate 5 app, which is unique to the Apple App Store. Again, you don't have to have it to go through the course, but I would highly recommend buying it if you have an iPad and an Apple Pencil. This app is a one-time purchase. It's not that expensive. And please keep in mind that I'm not going to repeat this introduction and update it based on updates to this app. Use your common sense if you want to continue with this app in future modifications of the app by the developer. It makes sense for me to go over the fundamentals of this app, even though you could go to YouTube. There are several YouTube videos that would show you how to use it. I will show you the fundamentals that will help you write Arabic and go through the course, hopefully enjoying it. After that, I'm going to show you how to make your own brush that helps you write Arabic letters that should look nice. The brushes built in the Procreate 5 app are tailored towards English calligraphy and maybe other languages. To have an Arabic calligraphy brush, I will show you a modification in one of the built-in brushes so that you can have nicer looking Arabic letters. There is also a couple of built-in brushes that I can show you, which you could use right away without modifying any brush to write Arabic and practice for this course. The next session, I'm going to show you the fundamentals on how to use the Procreate 5 app. Let's do it. I am now on Procreate 5 app. The app itself is unique to the Apple App Store. This image shows you the 2 generations of the Apple Pencil, and it shows you the different kinds of iPad that can work with the Apple Pencil. You don't have to have an Apple Pencil or Procreate 5 to proceed with the course. If you follow the gray and yellow pointer on the screen, this will help you understand the fundamentals of this app. When you open the app, you'll be met with the gallery. The gallery has all your previous work, and it will help you create new canvas. In the right upper corner, if you click on the plus sign, it will show you different sizes of canvas. You can pick and choose whatever size you like. I will start with a screen size. So we have a brand new canvas. You can shrink the size of this canvas so that you see the outer borders of the canvas. If you touch and hold the canvas with 2 fingers and pinch in or zoom out, the canvas will be smaller. If you touch and hold the canvas with 2 fingers and pinch out or even rotate, you can have more control on this canvas as per your preference. I'll keep the canvas like this for now. If you go to the right upper corner, this is the color desk. If you click on it, you can build your own palette. Palette is a collection of colors that you can pick and choose from whenever you want. So there are different ways you can choose a color. If you look at the lower row and follow the pointer here, you can choose a disc like we have here. You can go to a classic view to choose a color and build a palette. You can determine a value and build a palette, or just go to the palettes icon here. You have built-in palettes that you can choose the colors from. Click on any one of them and you can see how the color disc changes. Again, you can set as default any of these palettes, or you can create your own. We are going to create our own palette that has the basic colors that I or you might use in this course. So here I like to go to the classic option. I will clear the history here, and in the lower portion here where it says untitled, I'm going to create my own palette. If you look at these sliders here, the first slider controls the hue. The second slider controls the saturation of the color you've chosen in the first slider. The third slider controls the brightness of the chosen color. So if you go to the first slider here, if you click on the circle, take it to the far upper left corner to choose a white color. And then where it says untitled, that's going to be our newly created or newly made palette. So under untitled, just click in the corner, and here we've added white. Go to the first slider again. We are in the red zone here. Choose a degree of red that you like by sliding or moving this desk on the square, or by controlling these sliders. It's your choice. So this looks like a good red color, and we're gonna go where it says Untitled Palette and click there next to white to add red. We're going to use a brown color here. We can add it to our palette. We'll go back to the first slider, choose a yellow color. Add it to the Untitled palette. We'll choose a green color. Control its intensity and add it to the palette. We'll choose a blue, add it to the palette. You can choose a dark blue, add it to the palette. We'll choose one of the pink colors. We'll choose a black color by taking this desk to the right lower corner, add it to the palette. So we have here a palette of basic colors that we can use for practice and training in this course. Now, if you go to palettes, click on palettes here, you'll discover that our palette is added here and it is set as our default. If you click where it says Untitled, you can give it a name. So we can call it Arabic. And this is now our newly made palette that we'll use for the sake of our course. We go now in the right upper corner to the layers icon. Here you can add as many layers as you want. The nice thing about this, when you are working on the canvas, you'll be working on the selected or active layer. All changes made on the canvas will be made on the active layer and the other layers will not be affected. This is a good concept in case you want to maintain certain layers without any change and you want to practice and train on a certain layer that you can get rid of whenever you want, or you can clear whenever you want. In the right upper corner, if you click on the eraser icon, let's say I have something on the screen here. I can click in the right upper corner on the eraser icon. I can start erasing the whole thing or parts of it. If you look at the far left, you have an upper slider that controls the size of whatever you're doing. So if you increase the size of the brush or the eraser here, you can erase a larger portion of the zone you're interested in erasing. The left lower slider controls the opacity. I would keep that at a maximum for the sake of our course. So the left upper slider, as you'll see later, will help you control the size of the brush. In the right upper corner, there is the smudge button. That's not of big interest to us. The brush button is very important because you will choose the brush that you're going to practice with. One good feature to learn about your canvas: if you touch and hold with your finger, you'll end up with a panel of choices here. One of them in the left lower corner says clear layer. So don't take your finger off the screen, just drag it to clear layer feature. It's activated, and now the whole screen is blank again. So you can practice as much as you want and clear the screen. There are a couple of gestures that are helpful for you to learn. If you tap with two fingers at the same time, you undo the last action and you keep undoing. If you tap with three fingers, you will redo your action and keep redoing. There are a couple of built-in brushes. If you go to the right upper corner, click on the brushes icon and go to the left column where it says inking. So choose inking here. In the right column, there is a good option called Studio Pen Brush. This is a good brush to practice with. Remember, in the far left upper slider, you can control the size of the brush. Let's try this brush. I'm going to use my finger to try and write a letter from the Arabic alphabet with my finger. This is the ba letter. If I increase the size of the brush, it becomes thicker. You can use a stylus of your choice. Remember, tap with two fingers. You undo the previous action. Keep tapping with two fingers. You keep undoing. And this is an advantage for you to practice on a touch screen. I'm going to try now with a stylus pen. This is the ba letter. You can again control the size of the brush. Undo. In the left lower slider, you can control the opacity so that you understand the concept of opacity. I'll try and write the letter now. See how it is becoming grayish because we lowered the opacity. I'll keep the opacity at a maximum. Undo. Another brush that is good to use. It's a built-in brush. If you click on the brushes icon in the right upper corner, the left column has a calligraphy category. From the calligraphy category, you can go to the lowest option where it says script. Click on that. So this is our active brush now. I will use a stylus pen. For optimum performance, an Apple Pencil will do a better job. I'll be using now an Apple Pencil. And if you increase the brush size by using the left upper slider, you get a thicker appearing letter. Undo. If you look at the left upper corner here, other than the gallery we looked at in the beginning, there is the wrench here, which is the actions icon or button. There are a couple of things to know about it. If you click on add, you can add a photo and you can add text if you wish. If you click on canvas, which is the second option, there is a nice feature here that says drawing guide, which could be edited if you wish. So if you activate the drawing guide here, you have a grid style background that has the horizontal lines that you can use to write the letters in a more proficient fashion. And if you go to the actions or wrench icon here and click on edit drawing guide, you can control the grid size, meaning the size of the squares, so that you control the number of horizontal lines to your preference. You can also control the thickness of these lines and the opacity. And then click done in the right upper corner. I will write now with an Apple pencil. Remember, we chose from the calligraphy category the script brush. I will decrease the size of the brush so that the letter looks nicer. So undo, tap with 2 fingers with the Apple pencil. This is the Jim letter. This is the Ba letter. And this is the advantage of activating the grid feature so that you have the horizontal lines. Go to the wrench icon, deactivate the grid. One other good feature in the app that you may use is to be found on the wrench icon or the actions button, and then you choose preferences. Under preferences, you'll have the gesture control here. If you click on that, you get to control the different gestures that you can use so that you can enjoy the app more. Under preferences, you can switch to a darker screen here. You may like to do that. And under preferences, you can switch these sliders on the left side and move them to the right side as is here. I will keep the sliders on the left hand side. In the next session, I will show you how to make simple modifications on one of the built-in brushes so that you have a brush dedicated for Arabic lettering or Arabic calligraphy. Let's get started. What I want you to do is to go to the right upper corner, click on the brushes icon, go to the left column, choose calligraphy category, and then go to the brush pen. Choose the brush pen from the calligraphy category. Since you are going to make changes, it's a good idea to duplicate this brush. One way to duplicate this brush is to swipe left with your finger and then choose duplicate. So we have a duplicate copy of this brush. When we make changes on it, the original one is not changed. And you can reset changes made on the original brush as well. So this brush, which is called brush pen 1, we're going to change its name so that we call it Arabic brush. And we are going to change one feature in it so that it helps us write Arabic alphabet better. If you click on this brush pen 1, you will have what's called Brush Studio. This shows you the different features related to this brush, how to change them so that the brush can behave different. I'm going to make a couple of changes here. If you go to the left column where it says shape, you can see this white figure or white ellipse. Click on edit here. And now I want you to touch and hold with 2 fingers on this image. So touch, hold, and then turn it right for 90 degrees. If we turn it back the way it was, let's try again. You can turn it right 90 degrees, just 90 degrees, by touching and holding the shape with 2 fingers. I'm turning it right now for 90 degrees. That's the only major change on the brush. Make sure you click on the done button in the right upper corner and make sure where it says shape source, the white ellipse or figure is changed into a vertical position. The other change we're gonna make now is going to the left column where it says about this brush. Click on that and then go to the middle column where it says brush pen 1. Click on that. We want to change its name now. The keyboard will show. We're going to call this Arabic brush. And click done on the keyboard. Now to make sure all the changes have taken place, click on done in the right upper corner. And there you go. We have now the brush name has changed into Arabic brush. We have made an Arabic brush here. It's under the calligraphy category. It can be moved by touching and holding and moving it into other places. You can keep it where it is. We're gonna try this brush and see if it works. Remember the left upper slider, you can control the size of the brush. I want you to go to about 15%. Keep the opacity to a maximum. And we can try the brush now using the stylus pen. We can increase the brush size. Again, I'm using the stylus pen. Undo. I will use my right index finger now. Undo. I will use the Apple Pencil for optimum performance. It is definitely looking nicer with the Apple Pencil. And I'm gonna bring the brush size to about 15. Undo. This is the ba letter. I will show you how the new brush looks like when trying to write the 2 words in Arabic that mean Arabic language. It is pronounced in Arabic as Al-Lugha Al-Arabiyya. I'll try these 2 words in the original brush and in the newly made brush. So hopefully you could appreciate the change we made on the original brush to help us write nicer looking letters. I want you to go to the wrench or actions button here, activate the drawing guide so that we have a grid style background on the canvas with the horizontal lines. We'll go to the brush icon. Make sure we are on the calligraphy category and brush pen is activated. I'll choose a brush size that is about 15%. This word is pronounced as اللغة, meaning language. This second word is pronounced as العربية, meaning Arabic. I did this using the original brush. We'll use now the newly made brush. Click on the brushes icon. Make sure you are on calligraphy and choose or click on the Arabic brush. You can see that the lower line looks nicer than the upper line. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. The next lesson will cover the second letter of the Arabic alphabet. I'll skip the first letter, which is the Alif or A in Arabic, or the A letter. I'll deal with it in a later lesson. I would like to start with the second Arabic alphabet letter, which is the Ba letter. Hope to see you there. Bye for now. Thank you.